Hey everyone, this is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm Stephanie and I'm here to read some cards for you today. Today's theme is going to be what your crush thinks about you. So if you have a crush on your mind, or maybe somebody you might potentially get in a relationship with and you want to know what their feelings are about you, this is going to be a reading for you. And we have 4 piles for you to choose today. If you have more than one crush, you can choose more than one pile, but we're going to start with the pile 1, Fox and Ivy, adaptability, and we have a smoky quartz tumbled stone here. Pile 2 is going to be the moth and eucalyptus, and ending with the bloodstone. Pile 3 is going to be owl and hop, wisdom, with a very light amethyst stone. And pile 4 is going to be the butterfly and snowdrop with hope, with this cute little honey calcite. So take your time, choose a pile, and I will have your reading ready for you when you're done. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the fox and ivy and the smoky quartz, we have your reading here for you today. We're going to start off with some oracles to see how exactly it is your crush perceives you, and then we're going to dig into the tarot and advice cards to see how your connection plays out, or anything else they may be thinking about you that they're not telling you. So we're going to start off with, you've got 2 Kuan Yin cards, the Threshold and Turquoise Lotus Mother. You also have Aphrodite, inner goddess, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. We also have Horse, Soul Radiance, Phoenix Rising, and the Fault Line. We're going to start off with the card you chose with Fox and Ivy, adaptability. Foxes pop up a lot in my readings so far, the ones that I've recorded on YouTube anyway. So I don't know if I'm just really attracting that audience that loves foxes. Foxes may be one of your animals. I'm also getting the sense that you're probably a very clever person, not just adaptable, but you're probably very quick-witted. You might be year of the horse, but horses are also very dependable. They're very practical, and they're kind of almost up for anything. I am year of the horse as well, so I know we kind of don't really sit still for too long. So your crush might be seeing you this way. You might only see them in passing, or whenever you two are doing activities together, like maybe you only see each other at parties or at work, or within, there's always something going on whenever you and your crush are around. With Soul Radiance, they think, and Aphrodite, they probably see you as just absolutely gorgeous. You have a glow about you that they just cannot seem to understand or put their finger on. And it's probably very ethereal as well. It's like, even if you don't have conventional beauty, or if you don't look like everybody else around you, they still think you're gorgeous, and there's almost like a glow. It might be that glow that really makes them think you're beautiful. It's almost like they cannot put their finger on it. With the Fault Line, they may have seen you go through something. They may have seen the cracks in you, if you will. Like perhaps they've caught you in moments of distress, or in moments of just caught you in unexpected situations that they didn't think you would be able to crack under pressure. I don't know, and maybe that's what really drew them to you. Like, it's almost like they realized you weren't just this flawless goddess who is intelligent and smart. It's like they saw your human side, and that just made you all the more attractive to your crush, because I do get the sense that they are very much into you. At the very least, they think you glow. They think you radiate this beautiful inner light. And if you don't see yourself this way, pile 1, this is how they're perceiving you. So even if you don't think you're any of this is how you are coming off to them. With the Threshold and the Fault Line, I really do believe there was a point in time when you and your crush kind of realized, or at the very least your crush realized, that you are somebody who could move mountains, who could really revitalize something. Like you might be somebody who likes to start anew every now and then. Maybe you reinvent yourself, if not on the outside, then at least on the inside. And they've probably taken notice of this, especially with Phoenix Rising here. I am getting a little bit of Scorpio, so you might be a Scorpio, or you come off as Scorpio to them. Maybe there is a mysteriousness to you that's really appealing. But I get the sense that you come in every day, or every time they see you, you come in with something like the past does not hold you back. Whatever went on the day before or the times before, you don't let that get to you. You don't let that hold you back, and you don't, you're not afraid of starting over, and you're not afraid of having to start from scratch, because you know you have the power to do even better than last time. I'm gonna read a little bit of the Kuan Yin deck here. I really love this deck. It's beautiful, but the cards can be a little bit hard to intuit. With the Turquoise Lotus Mother, you might be a mom. If this doesn't apply, then take what resonates, but I'm also getting Aquarius vibes because their color is turquoise. Also Sagittarius, because I think turquoise is one of their stones. Let me read up on our beautiful Turquoise Lotus Mother here. The numbers here, if you can't see them, 39 and 42, not 12. I thought that was 12. Okay. 42, 53, 27. I have to get better about reading the numbers. I'm not big on numerology unless it's like a repeating number or an obviously magical number. But for those of you who are into numerology, there they are. You might be hard to get a hold of because it's taking me a minute to find this. Okay, Turquoise Lotus Mother. And it's a really big selection, so I'm not going to hold up the book like I usually do. But I am going to read just some key things. Turquoise Lotus Mother brings precious healing to you now. Allow yourself to be lifted out of your struggle, beloved one. An old pattern is finally in its death throes, something that weighed heavily on you from your past. This can be one of the most testing times to allow something to go, just when it seems to be so demanding of your time, focus, and attention. Yet do not doubt, you have actually learned the lessons it required of you, and now you're being blessed with an opportunity to receive karmic healing. So yeah, actually that does just go along with how maybe the fault line, not the faults, but the crack they saw in you was you having to go through a hard time. This could have been whatever you're releasing, whatever you're healing from, could have been something that they had to witness. Probably not on purpose. It's more like they came across it without meaning to, or they saw, if they themselves are also as intuitive as you are, they probably saw right through you and they're like, yeah, something's wrong. They're going through something. But they may have heard it through the grapevine, like maybe some friends of yours told them, or somebody who knows you and what you're going through heard about what it is you're going through. And in seeing you heal from this, they become very, either more intrigued, like a lot more spellbound by you, or more, it's more fascinated with you. It's really made them want to get close to you. I get the sense that you probably aren't very close. You're probably casual friends, or possibly co-workers, or maybe you just know of each other. Because with all of this goddess imagery, I mean, I'm aware that I chose a lot of goddess decks, but even with the horse and the fox here, the fox is looking away. You may not be aware, or either both of you or either one are not aware that this could actually be potential union. Which is weird because I know you're supposed to select whoever your crush is, but it's almost like you just kind of meant this crush to stay a crush and nothing more, because maybe you've got a lot going on your plate, especially with this fox looking elsewhere. and Kuan Yin in this one looking that way as well. But I don't get the sense that you're very close right now, and I'm not sure if your crush would like to get close because we don't know what's going on. We'll look into the tarot for that. But all I can tell you is that you are a vision and they're very much aware of you because you glow and you radiate and you pick yourself up, and these are all such admirable qualities about you, Pile 1. You also chose smoky quartz. I'm going to talk a little bit about this stone. It's a stone of grounding, so you're probably very level-headed. It's also in healing, because if you are healing, maybe this could help. It's to help you retain control of yourself. They use it a lot to scale back any addiction, or if you overspend or overeat. This is a stone that's going to call back that overindulgence. So you may have been overindulgent at some point. I am getting that with Aphrodite here, because she is also Venus, or yeah, this is also Venus in the her Roman counterpart. So maybe you are scaling back a little bit. Maybe whatever it is that you're going through has forced you to do so. And even though, like, I'm looking at this, I don't think whatever you went through dimmed your light at all. If anything, it made you appear even more radiant because she's surrounded in this darkness, but she still glows so beautifully. It's almost like that contrast made her shine even more. And that's beautiful about you, Pile 1. This is how you're being perceived by this person. And even in this card, she's got the halo. There's just... You shine, Pile 1. You shine. And this is for sure. Regardless of what your crush thinks, you are a beautiful, glowing, radiant human being. And you inspire people. Alright, let's move on to the tarot to see what it is your crush thinks about you. So far, it's a lot of raving reviews. We're going to be using the Muse Tarot, and we're going to clarify with the Mythic Goddess Tarot. You can tell I had a theme for this reading. Lots of goddessy vibes. Alright, pile 1. We have 8 of materials, the star, a lot of that glowing, the moon, 6 of materials, oh, and you got 2, okay, page of inspiration, and 8 of emotions. Yeah, I do get the sense that you just glow. You have so much hope within you, but you're also probably very intuitive. And you definitely had to leave behind a situation that was no longer benefiting you. But let's get some clarifiers before I dive into the tarot. It's just very tempting whenever you see something laid out so clearly that you want to start talking about it. But clarifiers will help even more. Moth, the Emperor. 6 of Wands. Oh, I hope I pronounced this right. Dumavati, the Hanged Man. 9 of Wands, persistence. And Ilayla, justice. All right, pile 1. So yeah, I get the sense that whatever you were leaving behind was draining you. And it may have been material, it could have been financial struggles, it could also have been maybe a health concern, because materials or coins does speak about the practical things. It could be money, it could be health, it could also be maybe just the location you were in. You were probably in a very unhealthy environment. And you were vibing way too high for that. That's what I'm getting from the star and the moon. You're likely very intuitive. And this is This isn't how you're being perceived anymore. This is just how you are and how your crush is viewing this and how they're coming to it, or how they have anything to do with it. But with the Six of Materials, there was an exchange. Maybe this is how you came to become closer with them, or have the potential to become close with them. Maybe through speaking about your struggles, through speaking about maybe some financial advice that they can offer you. Especially next to the Page of Inspiration, the Page of Wands. Inspiration really is the key word here, because I get the sense you will also be inspired by them to really just push through. They may have a lot of advice to offer you. They may have maybe money to loan you. With the clarifiers, let's go back to the Eight of Materials. Eight of Materials is the way you take stock of your harvest, the way you're looking at your finances, seeing what it is you have, reaping what you sow. And with the Emperor, you really had to learn how to take charge of your finances or your health. Maybe you've been looking at certain health problems that you've been having. I don't know why health is coming up a lot. Maybe it's because of the fault line. But you really had to reassess what it is that you were doing that was causing you to be in such an unhealthy space. If it was financial, maybe you were going into debt or something to that nature. And if it was health-wise, maybe you really needed to change your lifestyle in order to get rid of something, or to heal if you did something like break a bone, because that is also coming out with the fault line. But with authority down here under the Emperor, you really just had to take charge of yourself. Maybe you were too much in your passive energy, in that feminine passive energy. I hate saying it that way because not all feminine energy is passive, but that's how it's coming off in this reading. And Mott, I'm thinking of Moon Knight, if you've seen the series Moon Knight, because I know Mott shows up in that one. In that series could be of some significance to you and your crush. I'm going to read a little bit from the booklet, just because I want to make sure that I'm not getting my Egyptian deities confused, because I'm not as familiar with them as I am with the others. But if I'm correct, I think this is... Ma'at is the Egyptian goddess of truth, order, and natural, ethical, and moral law, the spirit of what is right versus what is merely legal or lawful. Yes, she's the one with the feather, where you get the scales and you have to balance the feather to see whether you go to heaven or hell or something like that. But in this case, and I'm really getting justice is right over here. I'm really getting justice vibes. So yeah, you've had to balance things out within your life in order to continue going on, because something probably came out of balance. And this is an inner struggle. With the Six of Wands, you've overcome this, whatever it is. And it's been obvious, because it seems like everything here is telling me nothing but good things, that you've overcome this. I'm not seeing that much of a struggle here, except maybe with the Nine of Wands, but that's because you've been persistent. That's what persistence indicates down here. You've been able to fight this off. And as a result, you've changed so much here with the Hangman. The Hangman can mean several things. It can mean surrender, but to me, it's a change in perspective, changing your mind, maybe switching your perspective entirely. But in this case, it's switching your situation entirely. You've been able to just, turn it upside down for the better. And that's an admirable quality. I really get the sense that your crush and people in general just admire you for this. Maybe you've had to give up certain things in your diet. Maybe you've had to take up exercise. And while a lot of people and I know this because I've known people who just, if it was food and exercise that would save their life, they wouldn't do it. But you're not that person at all. You are very disciplined, and you will do what it takes to get ahead and to be successful and to be on top of things. And your crush is probably very drawn to this. Pile 1. With Justice, you might be a Libra. Justice just always reminds me of Libra. There might also be some Aries, Scorpio, or just in general Mars energy. I didn't really get too much into the astrology besides you're the horse. I'm also getting Aquarius vibes because I'm pretty sure that's what the star card is. I feel like I haven't looked that up, and this came up in another reading, so I'm definitely looking it up after this. And with the moon, you may have a significant moon placement, or you may just be a Cancer. There's a lot of materials here as well on the outside. So you might have an earth sign for the sun, but a fire sign for your moon, because this is what's underneath. Also, there's a lot of divine guidance in this union, in this friendship, relationship, what have you, because there's a lot of major arcana. When you have an overwhelming amount of major arcana, we're talking about divine guidance. We're talking about people with a lot of spiritual abilities or connections, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the, it was supposed to be 10, but it ended up being 11 cards here. So yes, this is very divinely guided. And as for your crush, I just get to sense that they're still just watching from afar, because I'm looking at how this is probably the face they make. Like, oh my gosh, she's just so, I'm saying she, but my person is just so radiant, and it's like they're transmitting mental messages like, you're so great, you've succeeded, I'm so proud of you. But they would never actually say it, and and that's kind of annoying. Like, they may never really express how much they adore you, but they do. And it may be obvious to you as well. But let's get into the advice cards just to see how you should go about with this potential mate, or if there's anything they may come through with. But so far, pile 1, regardless of what anybody thinks of you, you seem like a beautiful, radiant individual who overcomes anything, and you are an inspiration to the world. Please do not dim your light for anything or anybody. All right, some advice cards for pile 1. We have Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. And the grandmothers, remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. And I'm going to get the back of the deck card because I just happened to look at it. And yeah, this goddess theme that I've got going here unintentionally, or a little bit intentionally. Lineage of the Rose, moved by the goddess, here for this soul call, gather. And then I'm going to get some flowers for you, because, I don't know, let's see what kind of flowers your crush would send you if they could send you any flowers. Or they might. And I'm not going to say rose, because this is clearly the Rose Oracle, and that'd be cheating. So we have, well, a rose. I was not looking at these cards when I was tweaking them out. Okay, another one. Yellow. This is interesting. They might come forward and say something, just because yellow gives me solar plexus vibes, which is confidence, but also friendship. So at the very least, this may strengthen the friendship you have. So let's start with Mother Rose. Returning to each other. Yeah, you're going to be probably speaking a lot more, or maybe deepening the connection, the friendship that there is. With grandmothers, I just get the sense you're being divinely guided. Maybe you have a grandmother, and I'm saying this because my grandmother was like this. Anytime she'd see like a cute boy or a man or something, and she'd look at me like, what do you think of that one? Like, she'd always be pushing for me to be dating somebody or be like, do you have a boyfriend? You probably have a grandmother like this. If not, you can disregard that. It could also be that your grandmother, if she's passed on, is very much a guide that is with you, and she's very much protecting you, advising you, even from beyond. And she may come through with a message for this. Who knows? If you do connect with your grandmother, even though she's passed on, you might want to really listen to what the things she has to say, because grandmothers are just so kind, and at least my grandmothers, they're so kind. Their love is so much more pure than that of parents, because they're a lot more forgiving. So they would only want what is best for you, and they have just so many years of wisdom, and they weren't afforded the liberties that you were afforded, chances are. With Lineage of the Rose, moved by the goddess, here for this soul call, and that's also what the grandmother card is saying. Just really listening to your inner voice. If you have any goddesses that you resonate with or that you work with, I would take any advice, any guidance that they have to offer about this connection, about your crush perhaps. But we're going to be reading the back of these. We have the yellow rose, and in this deck it means platonic love. So yeah, it's going to be a friendship for sure. They were first introduced to Europe from the Middle East in the 18th century, when pink and red roses were considered the height of sophistication. While the shades with which Europeans were familiar were richly perfumed, the new yellow varieties had no fragrance. As well as friendship, a yellow rose means happiness and joy. Yellow represents wisdom, insight, and harmony. Yeah, they think you're very smart. And this may stay platonic for a while. You probably take your friendship, I don't want to say you take it seriously, but you value your friendship. And there might be reasons as to why your crush will not come forward. Let's look at this card to see if it has anything else to say. Mimosa appreciation. Yeah, just more admirable. They really want to admire you. Give a billowing bunch of mimosa to the wonderful women in your life to signify sunny days to come. These bright yellow blossoms carry meanings of sensitive love, politeness, courtesy, and manners. They say, I appreciate all you do, and I value you in my life. And are a celebration of friendship and love. So all your crush has to offer right now is friendship, and whatever the reasons for that are, will probably become more obvious as your friendship with this person deepens. But that's fine. You may have such a friendship that is so lovely that you do not want to ruin it by getting into a relationship with you, because, or another way I'm perceiving this, if for whatever reason you do end up having a relationship with them, they may value you so much that they would want to stay friends. But the friendship is really very sacred in this connection, pile one. So yeah, I wouldn't give up hope. There's a lot of love here. There's a lot of appreciation. They may just admire you so much that they may not be able to see you so clearly as to actually be in a relationship with you. Like, maybe there's too much respect, if that makes any sense. But I'm going to leave this reading here. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. Feel free to follow, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you so much, Pile 1. Bye. Hello there, Pile 2. If you chose the moth and eucalyptus, an ending, this is your reading. We're going to start off with a few oracle cards to see how it is your crush perceives you, and then we're going to dig into the tarot to learn more about this, the connection between you and your crush, or anything that may go on between you two. And then we're going to finish off with advice cards for how to better handle this connection. But let's start with the Tao. Hathor or Hathor. Receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. We have Divine Feminine, magnetic, receptive power. The Starborn. And Wolf. Okay. Lots of intense energy piled too. But let's start with, and you also chose Bloodstone. So yeah, I get the sense you're or at least to your crush, you come off as a very intense individual. The Moth and Eucalyptus in ending is giving me Death card vibes. And that card is Scorpio and Mars energy. With the Lone Wolf, you may be somebody who is very independent. Well, no, I'm thinking Lone Wolf. But it's funny because a lone wolf is something that it's kind of an anomaly because wolves are very social creatures. They're just like dogs. They thrive and prefer to be in packs. So you may have a group of friends, and maybe this is how they know you, but at the same time, you're not afraid of doing things on your own. You're kind of not afraid of standing out, and you're not afraid of your individuality. With Divine Feminine, magnetic, and receptive power, you probably have an allure about you that is kind of hard to explain. Like, you really draw things to you. You're probably a great manifester. And you probably draw a lot of things to you that just, it's almost like your ability to manifest is kind of well known. You may just be people may think you're a lucky person, but the truth is you're calling that into your life, which you want and that you know will be for the benefit of you. Because we have receptive in both of these cards. You allow yourself to receive. Because you know when you receive, then you're able to better thrive. And they see this. Maybe you kind of manifested your crush into your life. And they're kind of taken back by this. The eucalyptus is it's a plant. Yeah, it's a plant. A plant of communication. It's actually really good for the throat. I remember back when, at the height of COVID, I knew these people who would actually harvest eucalyptus and they would put it in tea and drink it. So you might communicate, or you may say certain things that just are really profound. Like, I get the sense you're probably a rather quiet individual, or your crush perceives you as a quiet individual, but when you do speak, they listen because you probably have some words of wisdom to say. You probably say things that have such an impact and carry such a weight to them that they're like, whoa, this person is just so wise. Where did they even come up with that? And I very get that you are the flame and they are the moth. They are drawn to your flame because even in the wolf card, we have this fiery looking energy. So I get the sense that you probably manifested somebody like your crush into your life because I'm not exactly sure. Maybe you wanted somebody like that. Maybe you're single and are looking to attract a potential mate. And they might be aware of this, but they're kind of okay with it because you come off as very friendly, regardless. This wolf is reminding me of a dog, even though it's not a dog, it's a wild animal. And maybe you're the same way, like you might look very sweet and innocent, but you're actually wise and more powerful beyond your years. I'm going to read a little bit of the card from the Kuan Yin Oracle, because I love this oracle, I really do, but it can be so hard to grasp sometimes. But is it still giving me that feeling of, you might be a musician because she is playing the, is that a harp? She's playing an instrument, a stringed instrument. And again, she's wearing blue. In fact, both of these ladies are wearing blue. So yeah, I'm getting that whenever you do have something to say, it's so impactful and your crush listens. but the Tao. A Tao is always flowing, always nourishing life into creation, always presenting steps and solutions, and always reminding us that we are perfection in this moment. You are being guided to relax and allow life to flow. So yeah, I'm still getting that sense of just allowing the universe to provide for you, to really bring things to you that are going to benefit you. And maybe your crush is kind of envious of this power. Maybe they see it and they kind of want to know how it is you do what you do, because it seems like just absolute magic to them. With the Starborn, if you are a musician, they may have gotten to know you through maybe your popularity. Maybe you're well known. That, or it's like they're aware that you were born for greatness. Like you're something very special, and they're very aware of that. But whether or not they actually will pursue you, or if they'll say anything, I'm getting a sense that you may not be friends with this person. You might have friends of friends, or they may, if they know you from somewhere else, maybe through a following, maybe through social media, they're always there to make sure that they listen to what it is you say, or to read all your messages, to just really watch you, because even looking at least these three ladies up here, it's like we're watching them on a pedestal. And you know what? They even look like a girl group. She's the lead singer, and these two are the backup dancers and instrument players. Yeah, I'm getting Destiny's Child vibes here. With how they're being Beyonce and Michelle and oh my god, what's the other one's name? But you know what I mean. But yeah, and he's this wolf just looking on like, wow. This wolf does look a little bit more enamored now that I'm looking at. So yeah, they're a big fan of yours. They follow you. They love everything you have to say and put out. Pile 2. But let's look at the tarot to see exactly how this is going to play out. I don't even know if you guys know of each other, honestly. Or, well, you do know of each other clearly because of your crush. Or you may be mutual, you may have mutual follows, but you haven't really spoken to each other yet. You just kind of like, I like you. And he's like, yeah, I like this person too. But for whatever reason, you have not you have not established a connection yet. So we're going to be using the Muse Tarot and clarifying with the Mythic Goddess Tarot. So my pile 2s. We have 7 of Inspiration. The inspiration in this deck is Wands. So 7 of Wands. We have Ace of Materials. The Hermit. 8 of Materials. And 4 of Emotions. To clarify these cards, we have 4 of Swords, Ace of Swords, 6 of Swords, lots of swords. So Knight of Pentacles and 3 of Wands. Okay. So yeah, King of Pentacles manifestation. You've been manifesting, pile 2. And it has not gone unnoticed by the person that you are interested in, who is clearly also watching you at the very least, very interested in you. Or aware of you, if you guys are not already speaking to each other. Let's start with the 7 of Inspiration here, the 7 of Wands. And then the 4 of Swords underneath it, Recuperation. Yeah, you may have gone through something. You may have had to struggle quite a bit the Seven of Inspiration is, or Seven of Wands, is usually there's been a loss. There's been a loss, but you've kind of accepted your defeat and have had to recover from that. You've yeah, you've had to recover and recuperate and rest and heal yourself in order to move forward. But then you came back stronger than ever with the Ace of Materials and Ace of Swords. There's been a breakthrough. And this breakthrough may have been financial. It may have just been mental. Because there is a lot of mental activity here with the swords underneath. With the Hermit, you may have been able to get a better perspective through your healing, because the Four of Swords and the Hermit, to me, go hand in hand. They're both having to be away from the outside, from the public eye. With the Six of Swords, this is still resonating with having to heal. You've had to move on from something. Because in the Rider-Waite, that's the card with the bow, and they're slowly drifting away. You may have had to move, or you may have had to yeah, you may have had to move on from something. And maybe this was apparent. Maybe you had made it public to those that follow you, or those, or your friends, anybody, that you're going through something and you have to take some time off to recover, take some time off to heal, so that you can come back better than ever. And I'm getting mental health, because this happened in the past reading too. Materials is coins or pentacles in this deck. And to me, materials can be obviously money, but it can also be health. So I'm getting a sense that this was a mental health break. Whatever happened, you needed to take a break for your own sanity, for your own peace of mind, from whatever it is that you do. With the Knight of Pentacles, manifestation. Yeah, you've learned to take back control of your life, take back control of your of yourself. Eight of Materials is the harvest. It's that which you have. So you've been having to count your blessings, essentially, because you're looking at everything that you've created and you realize it's so beautiful. I've done so much. Why am I letting this situation make me feel ungrateful? Maybe you were feeling a bit like you weren't appreciating the things that were around you. And in being able to take a break, this mental and emotional break, you've been able to come back just re-empowered. Because I get the sense you were empowered before, but something happened and now you've come back stronger than ever. You may be an earth sign with a lot of air, or vice versa. With the Four of Emotions and Three of Wands, Three of Wands says travel. So yeah, you might be going away a little bit. Maybe this healing is quite a journey, because the Four of Emotions is being stuck in a mental state, being stuck on a certain emotion, usually heartbreak, usually loss. And maybe you're just taking quite a while to heal. Maybe this healing, this journey is really something that is meant to re-empower you, because it's taking a lot longer than usual, but I'm seeing like a butterfly now coming out of its cocoon. You're going to be in your little cocoon for a while. But there's a lot of optimism here. Even in this Hermit, there's a little sun, so I'm thinking of like the Sun card. And even the Ace of Materials is just very divine looking, in the Knight of Pentacles. Even the Seven of Inspiration, where you see this lady look a little bit defeated, or this individual, I don't know if it's a lady or not, but you see that there's hope everywhere. There's the little glares of the sun up here in the Muse Tarot, and even down here, the Knight of Pentacles looks like he's holding a sun. It's a pentacle, but it looks like a sun to me. So yeah, there's a healing process. And maybe this is why you two have not been able to make a connection yet. You might be seeing your crush go through this, pile 2. Or they may be seeing you go through this. You might both be doing this, and you might be mirroring each other already. But this is the reason why there has been no connection yet. They are still not ready to move forward. They have still not healed from whatever it is that caused this. But there is a possibility for a connection, because I know swords, I'm thinking air signs, and air signs are happy to speak with anybody. They're very open-minded. And coins, materials is somebody who's very loyal and possibly a very long-lasting friend. But for now, this is all hermit mode. Let's look at your advice cards to see anything else that, any advice for your crush, maybe your union, maybe get a sense of when it will be okay, or if it'll ever be. So, some cards for pile 2. We have the bloom. Creations realized. Right time. Harvest. Celebrate. That's funny. I did mention harvest in the past in the tarot. We have 2. Great Mother. Surrender to mystery. Fall into her arms and release the petals. Transformation. Death and rebirth. Shedding. All change. These are all echoing the cards from before, because you did choose the moth, which did say ending, and I did bring up the death card. Where's the moth? Yeah, it said ending. So, like a moth to a flame. You may find you may, if you do come together, if you do speak, you may revitalize each other. You may inspire each other to begin again. I'm getting that scorpionic energy again, that phoenix rebirth. Something had to die in order to come back anew. Maybe they're going through this healing to better understand you. Let me get some flowers and then we'll really dive into these advice cards. I have to look away from the flower oracle here because... Alright, we have... This is Dahlia, resilience. It is ironic that a flower that represents dignity, elegance, and good taste fell so far from grace. For many years, the aesthetics of the world dismissed them and their bright colors for being too garish. In recent years, however, the dahlia's fortune has changed partly thanks to the Instagram phenomenon, that is, the cafe au lait variety. It's official, the dahlia is firmly back in fashion. You might follow them on Instagram, by the way. It is a natural show-off, so it seems fitting that they are known as one of the flowers of Saturday. If someone is facing challenges, dahlias can be used to pass on encouragement, strength, and resilience, and to reassure them that they stand out from the crowd. Dahlias also suggest positive change and joy, heralding more peaceful times ahead. Okay, so this entire description resonated with what we spoke about in the tarot. So yeah, you may have followed them on Instagram if this is, if they do have a social media presence. Or you may communicate through Instagram in general. But let me get one more flower for you. Oh gosh, I do not know how to pronounce this. Lysianthus? Desire. Okay, Lysianthus. Let me just go to the meanings. These delicately frilled flowers lend themselves to weddings and engagements as they say simply, will you marry me? Their meanings have many parts too, as well as marriage and desire. They represent gratitude, appreciation, comfort, and calm. All right, so I don't know if you'll get married right away because it doesn't really seem like you guys are speaking that much. But there's definitely a sense of appreciation for each other. Because I do get the sense that you may reach out to each other. Maybe you're noticing that they're going through that. Either or. I really feel like this could go either way. That either you and your crush are realizing that you're going through a a difficult time. So they may reach out, and that's the bloom. Creation's realized right time. There's a sense of divine timing here. So you will know exactly when to reach out, or they may reach out to you probably at the perfect time. Because while you're still in this recovery process, it's not going to work. When you're healing, you don't want to talk to anybody. You're not in the mood to socialize, to be, your vibrant self. And I do get the sense that both of you are probably very vibrant people. Like, you probably stand out, but right now you're not in this energy. You're very much hermit mode, in your sweats or pajamas, lounging about the house, just being in troll mode, whatever that is to you. But with the Great Mother, surrender to mystery, fall in her arms. Yeah, divine timing, and there's a divine connection waiting here for you, pile 2. Release the petals. You're still very much going through the transformation of shedding your past, your skin, your troubles, whatever it may have been. There is an immense amount of change going on, an immense amount of growing and blooming, and just, it's not the right time. But when that time does come, and I get the feeling that it really will, just because these 2 flowers were just a little too on the nose, they'll reach out to you, probably via social media, maybe because they're not, if you do know them in person, they may not be ready for that. They may want to test the waters by sending you a message or something like that. Or they could just text you and be like, hey, are you okay? I've noticed that this and this. So, it's that kind of situation. Like, they don't want to interrupt your beautiful transformation, your healing, your whatever it is you're going through. And there might be a potential for a really fulfilling and nice relationship. It's funny that the first thing I read is, will you marry me? I was like, wait. We're still in crush mode. We're not anywhere near a connection or a relationship yet. But there might be, I'm taking that to mean that there's going to be a really beautiful potential for a meaningful relationship in this connection with your crush. Should you decide to reach out, this is still very much in your hands, and this is all about freedom of will, freedom of choice. Because even though things may be set for you in the stars, they may be divinely guided, it's ultimately you who makes a choice to step forward and reach out. And the same goes for your crush. It's ultimately their choice to reach out, because it takes 2 people to form a connection. But this is all I have for you, pile 2. It has been a very cute reading. Thank you so much for letting me be in this energy and for reading for you. If you liked this, feel free to comment, subscribe, and of course like. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hey there, pile 3. If you chose the amethyst and the owl and hop, this is your reading for what your crush thinks about you. So we're going to start off with some oracle cards to see how it is your crush is perceiving you. And then we're going to dive into the tarot to see anything else about this union that you should know. And then advice cards to see how you should proceed with handling this crush situation. So we're going to start off with some Kuan Yin oracles. Sorry, I'm blocking this because YouTube does not allow nudity. Empress of the Pearl. Achievement, effort plus intention. The Seed, which, by the way, that's a pearl. I'm pretty sure that's a pearl. I'll let you zoom in and see. Yeah, it's a pearl. Dragonfly. And I hope I pronounced this right. Rhiannon. Sorceress, you are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. That's funny. You have intentions in both of these cards. There's been a lot of mirroring cards, despite the fact that I take these from very different decks. I'm loving the synchronicity in this reading today. So pile 3, your crush definitely sees you as somebody very wise and probably very magical. Because you did choose the owl, you may... I'm getting Harry Potter vibes. Maybe you're a fan of Harry Potter. But I'm getting Ravenclaw vibes. even though I know it's not a raven or a crow or whatever the Ravenclaw symbol is. Also because of the blue. There's a lot of blue. So you may be very much in your throat chakra energy. You probably communicate very beautifully and very effectively. But yeah, you're somebody very magical, pile 3, and your crush is very much aware of this. Or at the very least, they see you like magic. It's almost like anytime you have to say something, they listen. And they've seen your struggle, because with Empress of the Pearl and the seed, which just happens to be a pearl, I'm thinking of how pearls are made from a speck of sand. And the sand, what's in the oyster? It struggles and struggles and becomes this beautiful seed. So you may have gone through your share of struggles, and they've probably seen this. With Empress of the Pearl, they definitely see you as somebody who has come out on top and is very much in their power. With intention, it's almost like they're very aware that you set intentions, that you set goals for yourself. I'm getting Capricorn vibes for whatever reason, but I'm also getting Taurus because of the bison or buffalo. But you're someone who is kind of a force to be reckoned with, because you are very self-reliant and resourceful. I'm pretty sure this is the myth of the buffalo woman who was able to provide everything for her people through teaching them how to use the bison or the buffalo to its fullest extent, as both clothing, food, tools, you name it. So it's a very sacred animal. And we're getting that exact same sense from you, pile 3. This is how you are being perceived. So even if you yourself do not see this, this is how your crush is seeing you, as somebody who is rather intelligent, very resourceful, but also very into their intuitive powers. And that's why I'm thinking Ravenclaw, because Ravenclaw is not just smart. They are also the ones who are dealing with divinity and with, sorry, not divinity, divination, but maybe divinity if you are that kind of person, with divination. Also because he got amethyst, which I think is the more magical of all the stones that I had presented today. It's not, but it's definitely the one that everybody knows about as being the third eye. You yourself may be very intuitive as well. And maybe your crush knows this. Maybe you have said things before or have done things before that ended up being very on the nose. And they were like, how are you able to, how did you know that? How did you know that's what was going to happen? And you were like, oh, well, I just listened to my gut. You know how to manifest, and they're aware of this. With Dragonfly, I'm getting air energy, first of all, so you may be an air sign, but I'm also getting earth, so you may be that combination. I'm gonna search the book for the Dragonfly, because I have no opinions on Dragonfly, so I don't really know what to associate them with. But they are pretty magical. When I do see dragonflies, they're always shining. And maybe you are the same way, pile 3. You probably have a bit of a glow about you. Or you probably, I don't know, there's something to be said about how you just go about life. Because I'm also seeing a lot of white here. So you may be very connected to your crown chakra. You're very connected to the divine source, spirit, your angels, what have you. Because even this unicorn, by the way, that's a unicorn, is white. But let me look up a bit of the dragonfly. This is funny. This is the first pile I have not had to read up on the Kuan Yin Oracle. Even though this oracle, as beautiful as it is really hard for me to understand. And I've kind of been using this reading as an exercise for that. But I knew right away as soon as I saw the Empress of Pearl, I was like, oh, this person has been through it. They know how to develop their tools, their intuition, their abilities to manifest this beautiful, divinely guided life. And in turn, it's made them immensely wise. I mean, immensely. I thought it would just be this card that was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, owls, they're cute and they're smart. But the rest of this is confirming this card. So, Dragonfly, Master of Light, Illusion, and the Mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. And yeah, I get the sense that you probably awakened that sense of wonder in your crush as well, pile 3. I'm just reading a little bit more because I don't want to read the whole thing. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. Yeah, so you're probably a very, very spiritual person, and you make it known to everybody that knows you. You don't hide it. Just because of how strongly it's coming through in these oracle cards. Like, if you don't see yourself this way, I'd be very surprised. I mean, you are in a tarot reading, seeking some advice, but you're very divinely guided, and your crush sees this, and they're very awed by it, quite frankly. They're very... I don't know if you two communicate with each other yet. Also with this Empress of Pearl card, just because she did happen to be a little bit undressed, they probably have pictured you. This is not an 18+ reading, but they have probably had certain thoughts about you. Let's just put it that way. So whether they reciprocate those feelings or not, there's definitely interest there. And I'm also noticing how both of these women in these cards kind of have their heads slightly turned away. So you might be a little bit shy, or they perceive you to be a bit shy. But that's just part of what makes you alluring and magical. But yeah, lots of magic here, you're a very divinely guided individual for sure. But let's move on to the tarot to see what else is going on in this connection, because you are perceived as this divinely guided, radiant being. And that's been kind of the same theme for a lot of these piles, which is great. We all want our crushes to think wonderful things of us. But we're going to be using the Muse Tarot to see what it is, what kind of connection you guys have, what it is you might be going through. But I really want to see what connection you guys have, because it's one thing to be intrigued by people's power and their spirituality. It's another thing to be like, okay, how are they going to go about this? But this deck is thick. I love the Muse Tarot, but I have tiny hands. Alright, so we have the Priestess, the High Priestess specifically, but yeah, they see you as super magical. Knight of Emotions, wow. The Wheel of Fortune. Temperance, geez, lots of Mage of Arcana, which is expected from somebody who's so divinely guided. And the Eight of Inspiration, which is the Eight of Wands. And this is the Nine of Cups in this deck. And okay, so back of the deck, Page of Voices, just because I saw it. And then we're going to clarify with the Mythic Goddess Tarot. So to clarify the Priestess, the Hanged Man, clarify Nine of Emotions, Five of Swords. Or, yeah, Five of Swords. To clarify the Wheel, the Moon. This is beautiful. To clarify Temperance, Knight of Cups. And to clarify the Eight of Inspiration, Ace of Swords. So they've been wanting to say something for a while, pile 3. But I get the sense that they're intimidated by how you are. Or they may get the feeling that you already know just because of how intuitive you are, and they kind of don't know what to make of that. It's like, oh wow, I really like pile 3, but do they know that I like them? So there's mutual, with the Nine of Emotions, there's mutual feelings for each other. But let's dig into this. So you may have changed their minds about a lot of spiritual things. Like they may have definitely been one of those skeptics, like, oh whatever, that's just, you know how it is when you try to get and explain to people what it is you do, and there's always that one person that's like, I don't know if I really buy that. But you've definitely changed their mind on this. For me, the Hangman is a changed perspective. It's not so much surrender. Well, it can be a surrender. Maybe they themselves are surrendering to their spiritual gifts, if they have any, or at the very least to be open to everything it is that you do. I should also know there is a lot of purple and a lot of blue, so lots of third eye, lots of throat chakra. The previous cards had a lot of crowns, so you're very much up in these chakras. You probably work from these a lot. With the Knight of Emotions, we get emotional fulfillment, and there's conflict here. So it might be kind of, they don't understand why it is they feel the things for you, and they might be one of those people who thinks you put a spell on them or something, but honestly, you have better things to do than put spells on people to draw them to you, because you're too busy fulfilling your life purpose, because you probably do have a life purpose, and you're very much doing that. You may be an intuitive, you may be an energetic healer, yoga instructor, you might also read tarot. Any of those fields that are esoteric and that you're very comfortable in. With the wheel here and the moon, you guys may talk about the moon a lot. But I'm also getting cycles. I'm getting the cycle of the moon here. Somebody's name might be Celine. Or Selena. But it's almost like this was bound to happen. I'm thinking of just being very drawn to each other, like it was almost expected. The Wheel of Fortune is luck, but it can also be just the things that happen in cycles, the things that were bound to happen. It's destiny. And with the moon here, there's a very dreamy quality to your connection. Again, they're very intimidated by you, pile 3. So if you do want anything to do with this person, you may want to reach out to them first, but in a gentle way, not in a, you know, let me read your palm kind of way. Let me look into your, don't scare them off, because there's a chance that you might, just a chance. But with Temperance here, yeah, there's a chance you might scare them, because there is very much potential for a connection here. This is balancing out things. Not so much as the scales, but more as like toning it back. Just knowing when to give and when to take. If this is, and I'm not asking you to dim your light for anybody, by no means, but kind of know how to approach this person, know how to approach people. And you probably know how to do this, pile 3. You're probably very aware of what it is you need to say or not. Because under the Knight of Cups, dreaming. They may have dreams about you. You may have dreams about them. It's funny how these two cards look very similar with the rain coming down, the Knight of Emotions and the dreaming. So yeah, if you do decide to pursue this connection, it'll be very dreamy. And it'll be very fulfilling as well. The 8 of Inspiration is speed. To me, it's speed. Because you see her running, even in her stiletto, she's just moving forward. With the Ace of Swords, breakthrough. Yeah, they may be reaching out soon, or you may be reaching out soon to them, but there's going to be communication here regardless, because with the Page of Voices here as well. Page of Voices is more inspiration and research, or like a thought that has just been born. Maybe they're finally coming up with the reason to speak to you about something. Maybe they're coming for divine guidance and you have more than enough to provide for them. I've been saying this again in every pile, and this has been the case in every pile, but anytime you have a lot of major arcana cards, this is divinely guided, a divinely guided individual, both of you. And in the reading we have 5. Yeah, 5. And that's kind of been the case in all of them too. There's been like half major arcana and half non-major arcana. But this is very beautiful. I could look at this forever, by the way. I love these colors, blue, purple, and this tealish green. But yeah, the phases of the moon might be important. You might want to choose a proper moon to actually reach out. Maybe a more social one like Libra or Aquarius, which is also very open-minded. As far as signs go, I'm getting a lot of water and air. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But yeah, let's look at your advice cards to see how you should handle this. I mean, I already kind of told you, be gentle with our with your crush. Not everybody understands us. Not everybody gets that it's actually not that intimidating to be intuitive or to hold this much power over, well, to hold such a strong connection with our divine guidance. But we're going to be using the Rose Oracle for some advice. By the way, I really like that they admire you that that about you, pile 3. It's kind of easy to stay in the spiritual closet sometimes because you know that some people don't accept it, and you know that some people think it's crazy nonsense or whatever. So the fact that they already like that about you, that may have been something that you've had to keep secret for a while. So the fact that they already like that about you, that's one less obstacle that's going to be in the way of this connection should you decide to pursue it. But we have the sacred waters: nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. The child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, and tenderness. And the bud, potential, promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. Yeah, I have the sense that this is inevitably going to end up being some form of friendship at the very least, and a connection. Because there's a lot of healing to be had, probably mostly from your crush. So there is that warning that if you don't want to take on like a free client, essentially, because some partnerships can be like that. You feel like you're healing them all the time and you're not getting anything in return. But with sacred waters, I'm also thinking of just, this could benefit the both of you. Maybe you've been needing some rest and replenishment. Maybe you're working on your health and self-care. That's been a theme in all of these piles as well. Not as much as in this one, but definitely in the ones before. The child within, you're probably healing your inner child. Maybe some other issues, maybe some other wounds. But there's going to be a lot of sweetness and tenderness in this relationship. Should it flourish? I really feel like it will, because we have the bud, potential, promise, and it's about to happen. Yeah, there's a very strong likelihood for this partnership. Let me get some flower cards. Though I feel like I don't need to. Maybe you've already been sent flowers. Oh, yeah, they all spilled on the floor. So maybe that's confirmation of something. Maybe you've already received all these flowers and they've already wilted and you need to throw them out, but you don't want to, but you have to because you don't want to keep anything good around you. But let's get, ooh, we have daffodil, inspiration. Despite their grisly past, daffodils' meanings are overwhelmingly positive. Let me start here. According to Greek mythology, daffodils sprung up in the spot where conceited Narcissus wasted away, having fallen in love with his own reflection. A bunch of daffodils can generate inspiration or indicate respect and a wish for vitality and renewal. Use these bright yellow blooms to say, "The sun shines when I'm with you. You're the only one." That's very lovely. There's also something about Big Fish, the Tim Burton film. Maybe you guys are Tim Burton fans, or either or maybe you resonate with that movie, Big Fish. But daffodils are very cute. And let's get one more card for you. We have Iris. Good news. Somebody might be named Iris, by the way. Named after the Greek messenger goddess who traveled to Earth by sliding down a rainbow. It's fitting that one of the meanings of the iris is good news. So yeah, you may be hearing from this person soon, and probably with good news. You may be hearing that they definitely appreciate you. There may have been some past narcissistic tendency, or you may be healing from a toxic narcissistic person, or they may come off as this person, but the truth is they're not, or at the very least they're not anymore. Or maybe that's something that heals. Or maybe you're coming from having healed some narcissistic tendencies. That could also be possible, pile 3. Not to throw any shade, but we're not all perfect. And we don't become the beautiful, glowing people we are today without having gone through some hardships. And that includes having a good look at ourselves and understanding where it is that we were toxic as well. But that's just something small, and that won't resonate for everybody. That's just for a few people. But yeah, I get the sense that you will be hearing from this person soon. If not, you can probably reach out to them, and at the very least, I have the sense you guys have some very deep conversations because of all the blue and all the purple, and that to me signifies very interesting conversation, fulfilling conversation. You could probably talk for hours. If you haven't spoken already to each other, I would expect this kind of communication. And you may start out as friends, because to me a yellow flower signifies friendship. But there's a possibility for it to blossom into something else. And that's beautiful. And that's all I have for you today, pile 3. If any of this resonated with you, feel free to leave a comment or like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hey there, pile 4. If you chose the butterfly and the snowdrop, hope, and this honey calcite, we have your reading here for you today. We're going to start off with some oracle cards to see exactly how it is your crush perceives you. And then we're going to dive into the tarot to see anything else about how this connection is going to play out. And then advice cards for how to handle it. So we're going to start off with some Kuan Yin oracle cards. Daughter of the Phoenix. And you got 2. Sisterhood of the Star Blossoms. You also have Green Tara. Start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. We also have Portal, Infinite Mind, Awakening Consciousness, The Lover, and Cosmic Egg. Wow, okay. So there's a lot going on here. But let's start with Daughter of the Phoenix. There's another pile where the Phoenix came out. I think it was pile 1. So if that was calling to you, by all means, you can go back and watch that. But you are reinventing yourself, pile 4, or you're going through a big transformation. At the very least, this is what your crush is seeing. Because we have the butterfly here, and butterflies are known for their transformative journey, going from a caterpillar to a cocoon to a butterfly. And with Daughter of the Phoenix, I get the sense this is probably happening to you big time. Also because we have the Cosmic Egg here, and we have the ultimate spiritual connection and awakening with this card from the Animal Spirit Guidebook. With Sisters of the Star Blossoms, I'm getting a sense you're being surrounded a lot by either friends who are helping you. This crush may already be a friend of yours, or you're very divinely guided by your guides. You probably are dealing with them a lot. Whether your crush knows this or not, I'm not sure. I don't think it's really something you would be able to tell. Unless they themselves are also very spiritual. They might be. And you might have that kind of connection where you are kind of... You're probably both very spiritual and on your own spiritual journeys. With Green Tara, I get the sense your crush wants you to ask them for help a little bit more than you are willing to ask. You could be very prideful. I am getting that with this lady. She gives me Leo vibes, or yeah, there's something very lioness about her. But we have the Infinite Mind, Awakening Consciousness. Yeah, you're coming into a higher energy, a higher vibration that maybe you're not used to. And this is due to a transformation. With the Lover here, I think your crush likes you back. And I think they kind of really wish you would rely on them more. They're probably somebody who's very, very into helping others. And that would include you. Their love language is probably providing acts of service. So maybe they kind of really want you to do not hesitate to ask them for any kind of help, whether that's spiritual or whether that's something physical. Like if you need help or advice, just go to them is what I'm getting. I'm going to read it a little bit on the Cosmic Egg because I'm not super familiar. I just know that it's like the most spiritual card out of all the ones in this Animal Spirit deck. It's also very lovely. With the rainbows, I get 2 meanings from rainbows. This could be an LGBTQ kind of connection. Take that if it resonates. If not, I'm just getting the sense that you're very attuned to divine and to the spirit. Because even right now, I feel like I'm very much in my crown chakra. Like, I've been feeling that the whole time, but right now it's like super super prominent. And with the snake here, you may be awakening your Kundalini energy, which you know, Kundalini energy can feel a bit sacral. That's probably why I'm getting the orange here and the lover. So maybe through this person you are doing some Kundalini healing, as well as some sacral healing. This is not an 18+ reading, but I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, let me read up a bit on the cosmic egg. Completion, harmony, the infinite within the finite. The cosmic egg is the final card in the journey of the animal spirit deck, and it represents unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This may be a fated connection, so the fact that you're interested in them is just how it's supposed to go. There might be some hesitation here, maybe because you're very much in this renewed perspective. Geez, this is such lovely energy, pile 4. I don't know if this is your crush or you, but I just get the sense of such wholeness and completion. It's like when all your chakras are aligned and you just feel so light and so heavenly and so beautiful. Sometimes you even start to see colors. I know when I've been in a very, very strong energy, a very strong spiritual divine energy, I start to see colors on the outer edges of my vision. Like I'll see pinks, purples, yellow. And it looks so beautiful. So, and you look at the feeling like you're high without having done any substances. This is that spiritual high. This is that connection, that oneness that a lot of people talk about. Because you can feel high without having ever done anything. And that's the energy that is coming through right now. And it is so lovely. So, maybe you provide this for your crush. Maybe being around you just enlightens them so powerfully and so vividly, and it's caused them to just fall for you completely. With the lover here, there's no denying it. They're very much into you, pile 4. But let me read a little bit more on the cosmic egg. I feel like there's something else here. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. So yeah, you may be divinely connected. You may have a soul contract with this person. And this energy just feels so beautiful, pile 4. Oh my God. Like I kind of don't want to move on to the tarot because it feels so nice. But yeah, you've been in this energy of having transformed so beautifully. And now it may be that now because you're in this space, you're ready to pursue somebody who was willing to meet you at this space. And I get the sense your crush probably feels the same way, just because everything here just feels so lively and beautiful. Trying to see if there's anything else that sticks out from this spread. A lot of heart chakra, just because these both are green. There's a green backdrop here and there's green here. So maybe your heart space has finally opened up to the point that you're ready for something big. You're ready for something real. So, or your crush has opened up your heart chakra, that they're ready for something this profound to come into their life. But I really get the sense that they adore you and they just love your energy. Because it's one thing to love somebody for their looks or even for what they do or what they have. It's another thing when people just love your energy, because that just, again, it's not an 18+ reading, but I've noticed whenever you're in that energy, just everything feels amazing. I mean everything. But let's move on to the tarot. This is such beautiful energy, pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. My God. Let's move. We're going to be using the Muse Tarot and then clarifying with the Mythic Goddess Tarot. And that's been my theme for this whole reading. I kind of love it. I'm not typically a big goddess type person, but I'm loving it for this reading. We have strength. Yeah, that's what that previous card is giving me. Strength vibes and Leo. Four of emotions. We have Queen of Materials. The Emperor. And Knight of Materials. And to clarify these cards, we have, oh, where did I leave it? You might feel a little spacey too, pile 4. This is normal whenever you're getting into this higher energy. It feels a little difficult to be grounded. Maybe that's why there's a lot of grounding cards here. This crush of yours may ground you, or you may ground them, or each other. So to clarify the strength, okay, yeah, there's big time strength here. But we have Athena and power. To clarify the Four of Emotions, Ten of Swords. To clarify the Queen of Materials, death, endings, Regana. To clarify the King of Cups, kindness. And to clarify the Knight of Pentacles, temperance, healing. And back of the deck energy, Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, just because I happen to look at it. Yeah, you are coming into a new beginning. Possibly, very likely with this person, because with the King of Cups here, King of Cups is usually a masculine energy, but it could be anybody who just really has a very strong, deep love for you. It could also be like fatherly love, which, you know, it could also just be they really, really care about you. I do get the sense that you two know each other, if not in person, then definitely on the spiritual plane. Your souls may have been calling out to each other. And this is such a beautiful energy. Okay, we're going here with the strength. You've definitely become so much more stronger. You've able to overcome your hurdles, your past. With Athena here, you're probably also a very intelligent person, because Athena's animal is actually an owl. So I think it's funny that it's on the death card rather than on her actual card here. But you're probably also very smart. She is the goddess of war strategy. But I've always sensed her as somebody who could also be the goddess of intuition. Not so much as like other of the Greek deities. I know Apollo, I think, is the god of psychic ability. But with Athena here, you're a very smart individual. You probably followed a plan to get you out of whatever this is, because these are the only negative cards I'm really seeing here. The Four of Emotions and the Ten of Swords. You were stuck in an emotional space that was draining you, that was just not healthy for you anymore, pile 4. And it was drowning you. It was like you had reached the bottom in order to achieve growth. And I hate that we have to go through such negative things sometimes to grow as people, but that was your case. And it may have just been mental, it may have just been mental illness, because that's been a theme as well to some extent in all of the readings, all the piles today. But then you've regained a sense of stability with the Queen of Materials here. The Queen of Coins can be money, it can be health. Yeah, it is health. You've achieved a sense of mental clarity, of mental health, but also stability, just being able to really be in your power. With death here, it may have, this really transformed you. We did get the Phoenix in the previous selection of cards. So I'm seeing this as a rebirth. This says endings. You may have had to let go of something, and it may have really just put you in a negative space for a while, but you came back out with so much power with the Emperor here and the King of Cups. You came back with your emotional power, if that is. You are very much in control of your emotions, of your feelings, and if anybody has anything negative to say to you, or if anyone ever tried to put you down, they would not be able to anymore, because you're very aware of where they're coming from, because you seem to reach a oneness with your divine or higher power. You understand even when people do something, you understand even when people do negative things to you. And that's probably what you've had to learn over here. It's like, okay, well, you're doing this because it's how you feel. And I understand that. And I'm not going to let that affect me, because because I have the strength. Leo is very much a sign like that. You may be a Leo, or your crush may be a Leo. And there's a sense of dignity here. With the Knight of Materials, this is slow progress. So if this connection ever does pan out, it may be slow and steady. You may be taking your time. Maybe you had rushed into something before and it didn't work out, or maybe it crumbled because of that. But with the Knight of Materials and Temperance here, you're taking it slow because you know this is how it should be, and your crush is willing to give you all the time you need to heal, to balance yourself out. I'm called to read a little bit about Baogu, Temperance, just because I don't know much about her. I mean, I don't know much about this one either, but the Death card came very prominently. It's the wisdom you gain through having gone through such a big transformation. And Temperance came out in another reading. Actually, I think it's come out in like a bunch of the other readings. I love that they all kind of mesh well together. Baogu was born immortal. She has become a goddess and is venerated in China. She was a talented healer, raised and schooled in a monastery where she learned magic, alchemy, and medical techniques, including acupuncture. Acupuncture could be a big thing for you. You might do acupuncture regularly, or maybe you know how to do acupuncture on people. But the fact that she was a mortal who became a goddess, you were probably somebody who didn't think you could get to the place where you are now. You probably thought, well, I'm not that special. I have no talent. I can't be anything. Or if this is a spiritual thing, it could have been like, well, I don't even believe in, I don't know, a higher power. And now suddenly, like, several years have passed and you've become one with spirit. So it's interesting. You could have gone from being an absolute skeptic to somebody who is very much in their spiritual energy. And this is beautiful. It really shows you how people can change. Maybe whatever you went through was able to show you that there is more, that there really is magic in the world that you are able to tap into. And it's beautiful, really, to see how far you've come, and whether your crush is aware of that or not. It's very inspiring. And it really makes you all that much more relatable and human. I don't know why I'm wanting to. The star, hope. Yeah, we got that in, I think, two of the other. A lot of these readings are very similar, but this one, out of all of them, this is my beautiful intuitive stars. Well, no, they've all been. Pile 3 especially. If you were called to Pile 3, you can go back to that one too, because you'll probably resonate with that as well. But just this sense of satisfaction, completion, and accomplishment that I'm feeling in this energy, which is beautiful energy, by the way. Thank you so much for letting me be in it and for reading for you. It's beautiful. If you've ever felt that Kundalini awakening, you know what I mean. You just feel so satisfied and you feel so appreciative and grateful for everything. And this may be the energy you two have when you come together. And it's beautiful to share this with somebody else, especially one that you're considering to be a partner. They could be a divine counterpart. But let's move on to some advice, because I think it's clear that your crush likes you back and adores your energy and adores you for who you are. Like, I'm looking at this girl, she looks very cute. Like, maybe this is how you come off to them. Just adorable and beautiful. So, let's get some Rose Oracle cards. Oh, please don't go here. I'm a little spacey now from having been in that energy for so long. So, groundedness is going to be something big for you. Maybe your person grounds you, or you ground them, either or. So we have the Sun, joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, play. Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, and scarlet codes. And the reunion, soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. Yeah, I get the sense that this is not your first lifetime together. You may have recognized their soul from a previous life. And they recognized yours as well. Partnership and friendship, collaboration. Yeah, I get the sense you're going to come together somehow, inevitably, just because it's written in your soul contract with the sun. There's just so much lovely light energy. I think like anytime you're with them, it'll just feel like the sun comes out, or it'll be like a beautiful day anytime you guys decide to go out together. With ancient power and expression activation, this is just the energy you give off. I'm also hearing your body is a temple. Take that how you will. But let's get some flowers from your crush. I'm really loving this flower deck, by the way. I know it's not meant to be used as an oracle, but I love using it because it never fails me. So we have, what was this? Solomon's seal, permanence. Some believe that Solomon's seal has the magical properties and possesses the power to summon good spirits, banish unwanted ones, and heal wounds. According to folklore, if you place it in all four corners of your house, it will provide protection and security. Solomon's seal carries meanings of permanence and steadfastness. Use it to show your ongoing encouragement to a friend or family. To ask, be my support. This is so lovely. Yeah, I get the sense that you two will provide a lot of protection and grounding to each other, and a lot of support. And then one more card. We've got carnation, uniqueness. While carnations generally stand for distinction, different colors carry their own nuances of meaning. Pink carnation suggests motherly love and encouragement. Red evoke admiration and compassion, and white mean purity and good luck. Flowers of the gods. Yeah, this is beautiful. I get the sense that your crush really appreciates you, pile 4. And if you ever do get together, please let me know. I would like to see just how on point I was with this, because this energy is just so lovely. I'm trying to channel something else here. I am getting a lot of abundance because I was thinking of the honey calcite that you chose. And this sun is just radiating so brightly. I'm getting that if financial issues are a thing with you, you will come into abundance so profoundly, either through this person or just you yourself. So if you have any monetary worries, Spirit is saying, don't worry, you are being protected, you will be provided for, and you're fine. I'm also getting a lot of pink here. I'm getting, yeah, I just started getting a feeling in the pit of my stomach, like where my uterus is. You might end up being pregnant by this person, and if so, this child is so blessed because coming into a family like this is just so beautiful and so healing for anybody. So if this is what you decide to do, you may end up getting pregnant before you get married. That's something that I'm hearing, and just what I'm feeling from these flowers for some reason, even though it's not what they said. It's pink carnations make me think of pregnancy, and take that if it resonates. If not, you can don't worry about it. But I'm going to leave you here, pile 4. Again, thank you so much for letting me read for you. This has been the most beautiful energy, and I wish you nothing but love and luck. And if you feel the call to do so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.